Good morning. How are you? I hope you guys are good. I am brilliant. It's another wonderful Monday. Unbelievable as it sounds, it's the 23rd. 23rd. Mwambazi, as we say in Zambia. 23rd. It's not even a joke. Like when you sit and think and go, oh my God, where did all that time go? And I learned something very powerful over the weekend about why time seems to be so elusive. Like, where is the time going? I learned from a brilliant, what is he exactly? He's some kind of psychology profilist for top-notch organizations. Guy called Chase Hughes has a very, very interesting YouTube channel. I follow it. Not religiously, but I do follow it because I'm in neuropsychology, so I find the content he pushes out very interesting. He said something that really makes sense, something that I agree with. He actually said that the reason why we sense as if time is moving fast and we can't even remember stuff from 2-3 weeks ago, and why we're not being able to kind of keep grasp of reality, like when you really go deep into it, you can't even do that. The reason for that is because of the incessant bombardment of data that we receive from those timelines we follow on social media. I'm not going to go, this is not a program for me to start explaining how that works, but like, how is that making us forget who we are? But I will tell you, he dropped some crazy but powerful reasons and factors which I completely 100% agree with are a factor in causing this fuzziness and this inability to sense time so well, and just this sense that everything is kind of flying by. Yeah, he gave a phenomenal reason. If you're interested, ask me, I'll share the video so that you watch. He does all these psychoanalysis stuff. He's really good. Anyway, so here we are. Today is the 23rd of June. So if you haven't gotten the things you said you'd get done, my friend, another year is going to go by you, just like that. And you're going to ask yourself, did you do anything sensible or not? Before you know it, you'll be at the end of the year. In fact, just now, can you imagine, wasn't it just yesterday when the United Party for National Development got into power? It was just like yesterday. I mean, as we're speaking right now, we've even lost our, sixth president. So when we sit here, we're like, gosh, we have no former presidents left in this country. That's a scary thought. But that's what it is. I mean, that's how fickle time is. And that's why you have to utilize every day that you have, every chance you have, put it to good use and run with it. Anyway, so today I am here. We come every week. Monday, yours truly. Tuesday, Dr. Sunshine Sylvia with her segment on Mindset Change Program. Wednesdays, we have the mompreneurs. Last week, we couldn't do anything because of the loss, sincere condolences to the loss of Dr. Sunshine for her brother. She lost her brother, so obviously the whole thing was topsy-turvy, so we didn't have that session on Wednesday. Thursday, we normally have Dr. Nelly with Prosperity for Your Soul, and then Friday is still open, but we're supposed to be getting into the health tips. So today, I'm here continuing on the series on bootstrapping, and today I have a very interesting topic. I'm still continuing the series around bootstrapping and can increasing, business ideas that can increase your means using minimal capital. In my last 2 episodes, I focused on explaining how that works, and I actually zoned in on brokerage. I still stand by brokerage as being one of the most powerful ways to get business running without necessarily having capital. All you need to do is just know where people that need products or services are and those that can supply them. So we call it business to consumer. Then you play brokerage. It's very effective when done well. And if you focus and really get serious about your brokerage, you can make an absolute killing and actually go on to establish yourself as a professional. Now, today I'm going to, today and I think next week, depending, I'm going to speak about another business model. Now, the second one, by the way, I didn't mention, was becoming an Airtel or mobile money agent. So Airtel, MTN, Zamtel, and these days we've got quite a number of other platforms, Kazang, whatever. So you could pick, you could pick your choice and become an agent in this space. It is a bit capital intensive though, because I think last I checked, to be an effective Airtel agent, you need about between 20 and 50,000 kwacha for your float, especially if you really want to be able to manage the clients. Because many times one of the reasons why many, agencies don't do so well is because they don't have enough float. So you need enough float, and I guess that brings you right back to the problem of capital. But even more important on the mobile money agency is the propensity for theft as well. Theft and fraud, these are things to be highly, highly sensitive to, because individuals have lost tons of money in that sense. So be very careful when you go into the agency. And then the margins are tiny. So meaning you need volume to really make any kind of money. You may find that if you're in a bad location, you may just be working for the agent. But agents have found a very smart way to steal off the owners of these mobile money platforms. So you need to be very, sharp and really watch those transactions well, because if you don't, they will certainly rob you dry. Anyway, they do rob in every business, but agency business also people do lose quite a bit. Anyway, so I know some people will be like, but what about things like chickens, rearing chickens? And the challenge with those businesses, and why I say they're a bit more, difficult to reach, they're a bit on the higher side in terms of the fruit and where they're hanging, because these ones I've told you are low fruit, especially brokerage. Brokerage, you don't need to have anything. All you need is just networks and contacts. And if you're very smart, you can start from there. Agency is the easy one, but it really is very involving. But and then the capital is a bit intensive. Now, chickens and rearing of animals has its really, really challenging bits, which people don't even realize. It's actually more challenging to run that than to run a mobile money agency. Anyway, today I'm going to pick something else completely, which I think everybody on this platform, this mentorship platform, has been active in this business before. Some are active even now. And I always endorse this business 100%, always. Network marketing, I endorse 100%. Today, I'm going to speak about network marketing and explain it. So in spite of what the naysayers and critics may have to say about the industry, which is the network marketing industry, network marketing has grown into a respectable size and generates more business. Sorry, something happened to my words. They just became tiny. Okay, and generates more income annually than the film and music industries combined. Can you believe that? In fact, network marketing currently matches the income generated by the gaming industry. Okay, that being just about $200 to $300 billion a year. So it's quite sizable. And I mean, that's like some serious stuff to think about. Imagine that. Okay, this industry has been endorsed by leading entrepreneurs of the day, including but not limited to Sir Richard Branson, the famous owner of Virgin Airlines. It has also been endorsed by Robert Kiyosaki quite a bit, and of course President Donald Trump. And the list, and some have even opted to invest in the industry as well. So for example, Donald Trump did invest in network marketing at one point. So like any other business, network marketing is work, okay, and will require the same attention and focus any other business requires. The unfortunate part for most people is that they were wrongly started or had gross misrepresentation from those who hardly understand the business itself and opt to use half-truths and exaggerations as a way to recruit people. Okay, so beside all that, as an entrepreneur, I wholeheartedly recommend it. But before you get there, like all good habits, a bit of due diligence would be in order. So for those of you for those of you not only familiar with the term, due diligence is the investigation of that business or person is expected to carry out before entering into an agreement or contract with another party, or in this case, signing the dotted line and paying to start the network marketing business. So there are 4 things you must consider before you make your investment. So that's what I want to zone in on today and really kind of focus so that you guys can understand. So those of you who really think about, well, is network marketing worth it? Now pay particular attention. You can even get copies of this video, put a reminder on it, tag people. If you know someone or if you yourself are interested in network marketing, you want to tag somebody, you want to kind of share this on your page because it will give you so much insight. So anyway, so the 4 things that you need to take into account are, so I'll mention them, the company, okay, the pay plan, the position, and the leadership. So let's sink into that. Okay, so let's begin with the company. So be careful with which sector of the industry you get into. Now, I think that I really need to stress. So there are different sectors because multi-level marketing and tier marketing is a common method of marketing. In fact, there's 2. There's network marketing and there is multi-level marketing. So these 2 things, many people don't understand the difference. So in network marketing, this is the referral business. So you refer people, you get paid some kind of either affiliate or royalty payment or once-off finder's client payment, because every plan is different with different kind of, options on it. But essentially, every person you bring in, you get paid. Okay, so whether they come in and join, you may be paid something at their joining phase. If they then continue to purchase products, you get paid for their purchases. So it's a royalty. Now, multi-level marketing, that multi-level part is if then, so some other business will only pay you at that level. Insurance companies and brokerage do that. But with multi-level marketing, those individuals you bring in become almost a company unto themselves or organization. So if each and every one of them then goes on to bring in someone else, you will find that you start to earn money off those as well. Give me a moment. Yeah, so like I was saying, so you find that when you bring in those people and they sign up under other people, you will be paid for all the business being generated by the person you brought in and the people they bring in and the people that they brought in bring in. So, and depending on the kind of plan you have, that can go on in perpetuity. That's what makes MLM very exciting when done right. So the company matters and the sector matters. So statistics show clearly that the most successful distributors and companies are in the anti-aging, hear me, anti-aging, skincare, health and wellness sector. This part of MLM has survived the longest by far. Okay, these have consistently produced long-term, powerful, and great income generating companies as well as income earners. So if you think about the top biggest, most famous MLM companies in the world, you will see that they are in this space. So in other words, if you get into these businesses and pick this particular sector, your likelihood of staying long in the industry are more guaranteed. Okay, so this sector also consistently has the largest share in the entire business. Why? Because it's consumables and it is connected to health and wellness. And so remember, for a lot of people, as we grow older, you want to kind of buy all these products to ensure you maintain your health and wellness. And also remember that because of degenerative lifestyles, these health and wellness products really do become lifesavers. And because they're consumables, people are going to be coming back repeatedly for those products. Okay, so furthermore, you must also ensure the company has solid business founders and systems. I cannot overemphasize that enough. Okay, and processes as well as processes and tools to assist you build your business well. After all, you are leveraging off a large company, so its critical systems exist and are robust and tested. This is where it's a bit tricky to come in with new companies. Now, I know new companies have a certain advantage. If that business takes off, then you're one of the early people who came in. So in terms of your position, you can take massive advantage of the massive growth that will come should the company and products catch fire. In other words, they take off. But then the minus to new companies, they don't have very robust systems and processes. You may find, for example, those of us here in Africa, like Zambia, you may find they don't have a warehouse, they don't have a distribution center, they don't have a physical office, and that then may even mean that there are issues around compliance as well. What does that mean? That means the regulatory framework around some of the products in terms of licensing and permission to operate may be problematic because the company is not active in the country yet. So you find that with new companies, you may have to be the one to help the company set that up. That's where the minus comes in. So it's a fine ballet between waiting for it to kind of start taking off or go in early so that you're one of the first people to benefit once they get that massive rise. Because the way this industry works is those first 5 years, there's very rapid growth, very rapid growth. And then once they hit that between 5 and 10, then they kind of level off a little bit, depending on the kind of leaders they brought in and the kind of distributors they have, as well as the company and the visionary stature of the founders, because that's a huge factor. Leadership cannot be understated here. So the leadership makes a huge difference. Now, so the critical systems are very important and they make your life easier, especially when you're a new person getting into the industry, you're not used, you haven't been in the industry, you don't know how it works. So you're a bit of a novice, you're brand new. That just makes it virtually impossible. There's no way you're going to know what to do. That I can tell you from experience. So the company should also be preferably DSA registered. That's Direct Selling Association, or BBB, Better Business Bureau registered, and also have been in existence for at least 5 years. So there comes the 5 years. See? So 5 years is critical because those first 5 years, I'll be perfectly honest, there are companies who came in and did wonders in their first 5 years, but look, the statistics aren't so nice. 9 out of 10 companies fold in the first year of opening. So if it's MLM, you're literally toast. And look at the effort that goes, okay, well, you don't know, but if you know about network marketing, the effort that goes into building a network marketing organization, numbers and people, is insane. It's a lot of work. So really the last thing you want is a situation where you go through hell setting all these things up only to have the company fold in the second year or close offices in your place or region. That would be very depressing. So anyway, top leaders, which are earners, should be at least among the DSN top 200. That's the Direct Selling Network top 200 earners in the world. Why do I say so? Because they will come with a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of reputation and influence. So if your leaders in the new company aren't even numbered anywhere, that's not too good. The chances are that you're dealing with novices, scammers, liars. So you really want people with a bit of a background here who can actually boast of having the numbers and the money, okay? So if they are not there in the top 200, but boast of being in existence for a long time, anything above 5 years, it means their breakage is terrible and you want to steer clear. Now, I cannot explain what breakage is, but believe me, it's important. So breakage, I've defined in my notes. So breakage can be defined as the amount of money that potentially would be coming your way had you been in a different and more favorable pay plan. In other words, in another company with a better pay plan. Also, be wary with any company whose administrative work, which means processing orders and registrations, product importation and clearance, as well as distributor management, is done by distributors rather than their own employees. I really want to stress that. If you find a company and the one doing all the handing in of orders and processing orders for the market is actually a distributor, don't even waste your time, because the chances are that you may find sooner or later that there's a lot of tinkering around and messing around with your orders. Anybody who's been in the industry knows what I'm talking about. So this is an Achilles heel and is a recipe for disastrous ends. Just avoid joining such companies until that part, the processing of orders, importation, whatever, is being fully handled by the company and its employees or agents, not distributors. So that's number one. Number two, the pay plan. I may not finish this today, so I'll probably pick it up next week. So the pay plan. So if the company does not have a binary system, it's pretty much ancient and will make you work your backside off only to have the most of your income go to the company. And you see, binary is without doubt the best pay plan, comp plan today. Okay. However, you need to understand some critical truths, okay, about this. So let me explain. So what is the cycling bonus? How many cycles in a week? At what level is it capped? These are very important questions, okay? Do they pay any matching bonuses? Is there a leadership royalty sharing pool? And most importantly, how is payment made? What systems do they use to pay? Are you interacting directly with the company or through third-party agents, or worse still, the actual distributors themselves? That's about 9 critical questions you should be asking. These are huge factors that can make a difference between success and failure. So again, there are different pay plans. There's uni-level breakaway plans. There is hybrid plans where you have both binary and uni-level. You've got direct payment plans. But the truth of the matter is that the one pay plan that has demonstrated capacity for serious income is actually, I thought I had lost my connection. So it's actually this one, the first one I talked about, which is the binary pay plan. This is the most profitable among the pay plans, but you got to be very careful. You got to do a bit of due diligence. You got to find out, learn who's earning what. Find out who's earning what, because the earnings are a big telltale sign. If people are not earning good money, okay. So let's go to position real quick. So what level are you coming in at? What is your timing? At what evolutionary stage of the growth trajectory is the company, specifically in your country? Okay, growing, plateaued, or declining? It's the difference between riding a wave based on critical mass being achieved at the start, or else finding a company on its way down, which will mean being stuck. So the timing and position for MLM is not ignored. You cannot ignore that. So, for example, and I know this is going to sound bad, but I'll do it anyway, because I mean, look, I've been in the industry forever, so I can tell you, Herbalife, Forever Living Products, Amway, these are huge, by the way, especially Amway. It's massive. Here in Africa, Tianchi, I think even Longreach right now, and Global. These companies have been around for a while. Greenwell, they've been around for a while. People have reached the top levels and gone, traveled, and done big things. So what tends to happen at that stage is that you find that they've either plateaued or going down. And Forever Living is a good example of a company kind of declining, because I follow the direct selling network reports, annual reports. I don't see their company featuring many times. And when a company doesn't feature when it used to, that's a telltale sign. Some of the greatest leaders we have right now in some of these new companies actually come from Forever. They come from Herbalife. Herbalife was huge, especially in the days, in the 80s, in the days of Zig Ziglar. So that was Herbalife. And then you go all the way back to Amway. Some of the most powerful earners in our industry, in the network marketing industry, earning consistently above $1 million a month, came from those companies. So these guys have been set forever, especially Amway. I mean, they are set. Amway's been around for over 100 years now. So they have a lot of clout. But jumping onto a company like that now, good luck. That's why I'm telling you that position matters. So you find when there's a new company, new entrant, it's exciting, people are excited, exciting product, testimonies are fresh, everybody's happy. There are these professional MLM hoppers that are around, of course, who come with their teams, suck a company dry and go to the next one. But it's still doesn't change the fact that it's a great opportunity and you can make some serious money. And I'm not joking, you can make some serious money. Okay. And lastly, let me hurry up. Leadership. And you know what? I'll be very honest with you. If you are seriously considering MLM, study the leaders, study the leadership so that you understand who are the leaders and what they're doing. You want to go under a team where the leadership is on top, like they're really doing their thing. You don't want to join a network where the leaders are pretty much non-existent and you become the leader. That's not nice. Unless you already have experience from MLM before, so you're not going into new territory, I would recommend deeply that you stay away. So in my opinion, this is the X factor. So leadership is the X factor that can be the difference between 10xing your business and really growing into a great income, or being stuck in MLM limbo. If you have a lousy leadership, even if the company products, comp plan, and position are great, it won't help you so much. Okay, so the leadership for me is the ultimate factor. Don't just join anyhow, especially if you are a professional. So if you are one of those that's a professional, you understand how studying and due diligence is, take your time. Identify who are the most powerful leaders in that company. Attend some of their big events so that you see who's walking on top of that stage. Those are your leaders. See who's walking on top of that stage. See who's coming with people. If you see one person coming with 20, 30 people and that's their team, that's a leader. Those are the kind of people you want to be under. Even if that leader may have some, what we call morally defunct behavior. It's very common in our industry, you know. I mean, once a scam, always a scammer. Once a trickster, always a trickster. But it doesn't change the fact that when you have individuals with that zeal and thing for leadership, you want to be around those, because those are the ones that will actually work with you and actually give you an advantage. So even in this one, you don't just join anyhow. Especially if you're a professional, you want leaders that are making huge difference, and with their support systems, that is the X factor that leads you into greatness. So you want that type of leader. You want to join a leader that's actually going to help push you and your business and your people to the next level. They're going to be available to show you the ropes. So you just don't want to join just under anybody. They're not even available to show you, okay, so what do I do? How do I proceed? How do I do my returns? How do I, so if you're a professional and you're considering MLM, I encourage you to go attend the big meetings. So that one of their big, not just small little weekly business opportunity, no, the big one, like when they're going to have a big expose thing, you want to go to one of those, sit in there, watch who's walking on that stage. That's the part I always like. Just watch who walks on the stage. Watch who gets the biggest accolades. Those are your leaders. And if I were you, I would be going to have a conversation with those people and say, listen, I've seen you're a leader. I intend to come in and I want to come in professionally. I want to do this thing properly. Can you show me a few ropes? And then I can decide. So of course, if that leader is very ethical, he'll ask, well, who invited you? Then you say, okay, that gentleman over there. So then now if you've done it right, there'll be somebody up that line. You may not even be the person who brought you in because they're not so serious, but you may find somebody up the line and you want to connect quickly, unless this one who brings you in is one of those people that are on the QT, always pushing to see what happens. But sometimes you have these people bring you in, they are never in the meetings, they're not serious, they don't even know the comp plan, they can't explain anything, they are not active, they're not engaged. So if you have one of those, then of course you want to identify who brought them in. And if you find they're also useless, then who brought them in, and keep going up until you find who the leader is. Quickly connect to that leader, tell them that you are dead serious. They will obviously register you under that person, which is the ethical thing to do. But if you're the type who's a professional, it won't take you long before you overtake the person who brought you in. And that's what makes our industry so exciting. It's not even about who comes in first. It's about who is consistent and does what it takes, pays the price, and follows everything. So this here was just to give you an idea of how the industry works. So next week when I come on, I'm going to take you through the other part, which is also very exciting. And that's the one that deals with the very exciting topic of 10 reasons why you should be in the multi-level marketing business. So on this note, I hope you were able to learn something, because you've heard about multi-level a lot. Let me give you a cautionary advice. Please steer clear of any MLM that is coming through Forex trading, that is coming through cryptocurrencies and that space, Bitcoin and whatever. Just stay clear of those, because the industry itself is already very tough and needs a lot of education. That I'm talking about the Forex trading and the crypto industry. So if it's then also coming through a multi-level marketing tier system, bogus. Run. Just leave it. It's not going to work. You're going to waste a lot of time and money. The Forex trading and cryptocurrency industry is very complex. I won't even lie to you. Let nobody cheat you. It's so easy. Let me show you what to do. Nonsense. They are making their money from the MLM model, not from the actual trading. Trading and crypto is a lot of work. You have to commit hours on end, and even then, the money that you make is debatable to say the least. So I would be very mindful and very careful. And then there's a lot of scams also coming in the form of cryptocurrency. Recently in Zambia, we had the heritage coin. People lost almost 100 million kwacha in that thing. So you don't want to go in that direction. Stay away from it. Stick with the more obvious, more straightforward opportunities that I've mentioned to you, which is genuine MLM. As I close, there has to be a product or a service. And I would definitely be keen far more with the product, because that one is more tangible and more manageable. With the ones for services like crypto and Forex trading, just stay away. Go and learn what you need to do and do the crypto and Forex trading directly. You don't need to go through some person and all that, because the moment that's involved, it's bogus. It is MLM disguised. Sorry, it's a Ponzi disguised as MLM, and you want to steer clear, because they will scam you. Alrighty. On that note, I hope you've heard. Have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow when Doc is back with her Mindset Change program. Take care. Bye.